My friends, may the good Lord give all of you peace. It's an inside job. We use that expression, of course, so often to talk about certain crimes that happen within the company, within the government, and so forth and so on. But today, we're not speaking of crime. I think we could aptly say that Jesus is telling us that our life of faith, our spiritual life, is definitely an inside job. In the gospel today, Jesus chastises the Pharisees. They were upset with him because he didn't observe the prescribed washing. And he took them to task and told them it's what's inside that really matters. Now, I think an important point has to be made. I'm certainly not saying that externals don't matter at all, but what I think Jesus is telling us is that if the externals, the rituals, and the symbols that we use don't match what's inside of us, we're in big trouble. And so at the end, Jesus says, as to what is within, give alms. In other words, if you have the right stuff, the right spiritual stuff within, you'll be charitable, you'll be compassionate, you'll give alms. In the first reading today, St. Paul makes the same point, but from a different perspective. Paul talks about people who are involved in wickedness of all sorts, but then he tells them that there is no excuse because the Creator has put within all of us the ability to know God. Interestingly enough, the Catechism of the Catholic Church in its section on Revelation begins by saying that the first source of revelation is creation, because we have within us to come to know of God through meditation on the creation that he gave us. That's what the founder of my order, St. Francis of Assisi, did so well. So Paul makes that same point that we have to get behind the things that could distract us, the things that we think are important. He advises us not to worship idols. Of course, he talks about animals and snakes. I think today he would talk about the idolatry of power and money and some of those things that distract us and keep us from going inside. And what a wonderful message we have today on this feast of St. Teresa of Avila. Teresa, the first woman doctor of the church, became a doctor of the church because she gives us a roadmap regarding the interior life, regarding the path to Jesus that is inside of us. It wasn't theoretical reflection on doctrine and on theology that made her a doctor of the church. It was her sharing of her own spiritual life, even through moments of suffering and darkness. She leads us through the stages of the spiritual life, going from the purgative to the unitive, to the illuminative to the unitive. She talks about the interior castle, and she shares with us even her dark night of the soul. I'd like to close this homily with a quote from St. Teresa that was found in today's office for readings. If Christ Jesus dwells in someone as his or her friend and noble leader, that one can endure all things, for Christ helps and strengthens us and never abandons us. He is a true friend. He's a true friend that we'll encounter now in the Eucharist. He's a true friend that truly desires to dwell in our hearts and souls. And if we allow him to do that, our external practices will take care of themselves. May the good Lord give all of you peace.